Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of rawradianthealth.com, and I'm Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and recently I've received quite a few requests to talk about Bikram yoga and the raw food diet, and also juice fasting. And because, as you guys know, I started doing Bikram yoga again starting in January. It's been like 5 months now, and I used to do Bikram yoga like 8 years ago and then stopped, and I never did it since. And then I just started past 2 months ago, and it's been going good. It actually feels like I never stopped, which is great. I'm very flexible again, everything, and I have to actually say that I've noticed that it's even easier to do Bikram yoga on a raw food diet. I mean, mainly because I'm just not eating any kind of heavy food. Nothing is like water sapping, you know, because main thing is if some of you don't know what Bikram yoga is, it's hatha yoga that is done in a hot room, and the room is really hot. It's over 100 degrees. You are sweating for an hour and a half while doing all these yoga poses. So the main thing is it's a very strenuous exercise, and both not only physically but also mentally. And, you know, especially being in such a hot room for that amount of time and exercising in it, there's a lot of times like you got that little voice in your head that's like, I want to stop, I want to leave, I want to jump out the window. And it really helps just sort of really strengthen your determination and just to really center yourself and move forward. And the great thing about that is that if you're doing this every day, it really strengthens your spirit, that in your day-to-day life you're just much more clear and more on top of things, and really, you know, you go for the gold. So that's the beauty of a lot of exercise, is that it's not only about the exercise itself, but it's also what you bring into your daily life from that practice. So I've been really enjoying the Bikram yoga with the raw food diet, especially too because, you know, not only am I just really hydrated and I feel healthy and light while I'm doing it, but I just feel it's just easier, and my energy is not centered on so much the digestion, and so I can really put my all into the class. I'm even more flexible than I've ever been, and which is great. The biggest benefit I've gotten as well has been to actually clear a plantar's wart that I had for like over 4 years, that nothing, I'm talking nothing, was able to get rid of this thing. I had this wart on my foot, and I was a little bit kind of embarrassed about it, and I was kind of nervous about going to the Bikram yoga with this wart because it's so hot and humid and moist in that room that I was kind of like, ooh, I don't want this to make that wart on my foot worse. And so I was concerned about it in the beginning. And what's interesting enough is that I've tried everything to get rid of it, okay? I've tried everything from like burning it to like putting like oil of oregano on it, DMSO on it, pau de arco, all sorts of different herbs and stuff. I've even used the Terminator 2 zapper, okay? Strapped that thing on my foot for a month and never like would go away, nothing. It wouldn't even get smaller, nothing. It would just get bigger and bigger and deeper and deeper. And it was, even doctors, like dermatologists, like gave up on it. So I was a little bit nervous about having to, you know, show it in public. But anyways, it actually cleared up, and within 2 weeks, gone. And the crazy thing is that like the first day I noticed it on my foot and I saw it, and then 2 weeks later I was like checking out my feet and I'm like, wait a minute, it's gone, totally gone. It went away on its own. And what I think it was is that pretty much with the yoga is that you're increasing your circulation. And once you increase your circulation in your body, you're also able to really detoxify, because if your circulation is bad, nothing's really going through you very well, and your blood is not being able to clean out as well as it could. And so with the Bikram yoga is that you have increased circulation, plus you're sweating out all the toxins, and you really, you know, you're almost like through the postures, you're giving yourself like a deep core massage. And so that too, it opens things up, it pulls things out. And I really believe that's why, you know, it allowed my body to pretty much heal itself. So pretty fantastic. I'm like really excited about that because now my feet are perfect and I'm not embarrassed in class. So pretty much recently I actually started doing a 30-day yoga challenge starting May 1st, and the longest I've done over the winter was 45 days straight, which was great. And what's interesting too is that, you know, right now I'm supporting and hosting a 10-day juice fast, and there's actually quite a few people from Montreal that have signed up. And there's one person that's from Montreal that's doing the juice fast and is actually doing the Bikram yoga challenge as well. And so she had emailed me and asked me a few questions about doing fast and Bikram yoga at the same time. So yes, I've done it. Okay, I've done a lot of experiments over the past few months with doing sort of short juice feasts and also longer juice feasts. I recommend doing more juice feasting, not juice fasting, where you're drinking like, you know, really you should be drinking a minimum of 16 cups of juice a day, which is pretty much the program that I'm hosting, okay? Is that you want to have as much juice as possible because you're sweating so much, you're burning a lot of calories, you're also using up a lot of minerals and stuff, and so it's really important to get minimum 16 cups of juice of especially green juice, because you really need those alkaline green leafy vegetables, because those vegetables are full of minerals. That's what's going to replenish your system. And you need the green juice is really just to rehydrate yourself and make sure you have a good electrolyte balance, everything. One thing I really do stress, because I've done a lot of experiments with it, I find it's much easier to do short-term juice feasts, like for like 2 or 3 days, and do the Bikram yoga every day with that. Or if you're going to do a longer one, really just make sure you're drinking enough juice. And what's most important is actually making sure that you're juicing a minimum, and I say minimum, of 1 head of celery a day. Because the main thing is that one thing that I saw when I did a 7-day juice fast while doing Bikram yoga every day was that the first few days I felt great, and then suddenly I started feeling tired and I started overheating in class, and I just felt almost like dehydrated and just so hot from the inside out. And I realized was because I wasn't getting enough natural sodium, and so I wasn't able to sort of retain water and keep myself hydrated, that it was just like pouring out of me. I wasn't able to hold on to that water, and the water is what cools you down as well. So what's really important is to make sure that you're juicing vegetables like celery and bok choy, romaine lettuce even, that have a lot of natural sodium in it. And I even suggest too as well is to make like an electrolyte lemonade before you do the Bikram yoga class, which is like a liter of water with lemon juice and just a pinch of Celtic sea salt. And this too will just help you to retain the water that you need in that class. And most importantly is to be drinking, when you're doing this kind of yoga, to be drinking like 3 liters of water a day. That really, you know, just to maintain good hydration, because you really do sweat it out. So, you know, it's all good. And one thing I do want to mention, because I see this a lot, is a lot of times people do Master Cleanse and the Bikram yoga together, and that's one thing I don't really suggest. I really don't. I mean, Master Cleanse it's hard on the body, and Bikram yoga is really hard on the body, and I feel that both of them should be done at separate times and not together. If you want to do any kind of liquid diet, do a juice feast where you're having minimum 16 cups of green juice a day, or do like a smoothie feast, something like that. But you really do need these calories, you really do need the minerals, you need the electrolytes, you need these things to support your system. And I don't feel that the Master Cleanse is appropriate. So, but that's just me. All right, so anyways, these are my little tips for the day, and do try out Bikram yoga. It is super fantastic, and I have to say raw foods just goes hand in hand with it. So have a fabulous day, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.